After the ball is over, after the skein is done, after the die lot's finished, and you are short just one, many a knitter has made a tearful and desperate call, pleading with their local yarn shop, go after that ball.
Hello everybody, welcome to the Pen, Hook, and Needles podcast, episode 558. Today is Wednesday, June 14th, 2023, as we are recording. This is not our normal day. We just happen to be falling this way the last couple of weeks.
Right, yeah, Tuesday is supposed to be our new normal, but just various things this past couple of weeks have pushed things back.
I am Marlisha, also known as Lady Fertico.
I'm Talia, also known as Franciscan Gypsy.
We want to welcome all new and returning viewers to the Fool in the Woman Cave. If you're new, we're glad you found us. We hope you see something that you like and you will stay. If you are returning, we're always glad to have you back. If you are new or returning, but you're not officially part of the group and you'd like to be, there's a little subscribe button on your right, it's a little red button, and you just tap that. And if you'd like to get notifications as to when our podcasts go up, we do it once a week. Normally, it may vary a little bit on the day, depending on health and things like that.
Yeah, because when you deal with chronic illness, things just aren't predictable.
The bell will tell you, and you can set your notifications to, your preferred frequency of notifications.
Right.
If you'd like to take part in the alongs that we are doing, those are on our homepage, which is phnpodcast.freeforms.net, and that's in the little description box below the video. Let's see here.
We do our tea. How many projects do you have?
I have 3.
Okay, so I go first. Let me just stir again. And then when you're doing business talk, I want to grab the Swift so I remember to later on wind up the yarn that I need to.
You have to wind up yarn too if I'm going to start that blanket.
Do you want to wind yours up first?
No, it's not important.
Okay.
We'll figure it out when we get to that point.
Okay, so in my Pen, Hook, and Needles mug.
I forgot to use mine. I just used what was handy.
Well, I look like a...
Self-absorbed?
Yes. Well, what I've ended up doing is using both of them for water bottles. And then I have my POTS one, or my Normalite one, and then I have my big one. So that way I just have them all filled, and it keeps... Because I have them all filled, I'm able to keep more hydrated.
I'm going to have to put water in both of mine so that I can maybe wash the other one more because I think it's affecting my stomach.
That makes sense. Well, what I do then is when I alternate, at the end of the night when I'm cleaning things, I clean whatever water bottle has been drunk out of.
Because we showed all of them last week. Yeah. Laura spoiled us. Laura, thank you for letting us know you got back safely. I hope you had a good time.
I have in here a Spot of Love. And I figured out, I think, I haven't tasted it today, but yesterday I got it to taste good.
Sounds like you really have to work.
Well, what happened was I put too much in last time because I had done...
Too much tea or too much water?
Too much tea. Let me go ahead and taste. This time I put in the right amount. I think that the first time I made it was in a smaller mug, maybe.
Yeah, it's harder. You think 2 ounces. It's not going to make that big a difference. It does. You have to adjust everything.
Yeah.
It's good.
Yeah.
It's a little cooler than I like it, but it's good.
Well, that's because it's sat on my warmer for a while.
It almost has a caramel to it. An aftertaste to it.
Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Now, I have a Spot of Mott and a little chocolate, which is my blend. And I'm not sure if I put in too much water.
You had a lot of water in there.
It's starting to fill out, though, if you want to taste it. I think I put a little too much water.
Which one is it again?
A Spot of Mott and a little chocolate.
That has chai.
No, you have this. You bought this.
Oh, Spot of. Okay, yeah, sorry. I was thinking of your other one.
What other one?
You have another chocolate one that you did that has chai in it.
Right. No, this one's got Mott in it.
Yeah, that's right.
2 different kinds of Mott.
Yeah, it's a little weak.
Yeah, I think I was afraid to put as much. I have to determine what teas get bigger teaspoons.
Yeah.
And stuff, because this is really...
This one can handle a bigger teaspoon. Yeah. I tried a bigger teaspoon with this one, and I overdid it.
Yeah.
Which is why I've had to adjust it.
This one is very chocolatey.
Oh, yeah, the last time I made it, I did nice big heaping ones. It was so good.
Mm-hmm.
Since you're gonna be talking business right now, I'm gonna grab the Swift so I don't forget.
Okay.
To do that.
So let us go into. We have. I think. Let's see. We have 2 alongs going on right now.
Yeah, I think it's 2.
Okay. So the first along we have is the PHN movie night make along, and that runs all year. And if you're taking part in the alongs, you're part of the group, so all the rules are in the group. But I will go give you the bare bones of it.
Oops, sorry.
This run started January 1st of this year, and it ends December 31st of this year. So that means January 1st of 2024 is done. Yes, you sometimes get a couple hours of grace period, but if you want to get those things in that will be considered for prizes, get them in early. Don't wait, because we're Eastern Standard Time, and I think one of our other moderators is also Eastern Standard Time, and then the other one is Texas. So
Is that
no, Central.
I was gonna say, I thought it was Central.
Yeah, and so you don't want to miss it, especially you people out on the West Coast. Keep an eye on it, because if we close it down Eastern Standard Time, you guys might still be 9 o'clock at night, but it's midnight over here and it's closed. So try to make sure that you get them in, because we want you to have all the chances that your work allows you to have, because you work hard, and we want you to guys have a chance for that. I'm going to warn you ahead of time. My words are jumbled today. Okay.
I'm attacked.
Now, projects must be knit, loom knit, crocheted, woven, or paper crafts such as journaling, origami, card making, and things like that, including drawing. As long as it reflects the theme. Okay. The hashtag is hashtag PHN Movie Night 2023 on Instagram. I'm not sure how many people are using that hashtag, but that's what it is.
I haven't checked any of those hashtags.
I haven't either. Rena's really good about checking those. I don't get on Instagram. Honestly, I'm pulling back from social media just for my own health. And I'm not just mental health, just it's too much for me sometimes. So I
occasionally post to my booktube one, mostly to let them know when things are up, or every once in a while if I get a cool book cover or something.
Well, I generally will do my writers group, usually when I'm doing prompts, which is like once a month or something like that for a week, or if I write something there, and my HFI, which is my religious stuff, my Catholic stuff.
Well, that's not Instagram, that's Facebook, right?
Yes, but some of that can be Instagram. Not the writers group, but the other one. Some of it can be Instagram, but you're right. And then the yarn, my yarn stuff.
Yeah, that automatically posts.
That automatically posts, but basically I've pulled back way back. I'm on PHN, and I'm on Adagio, and that's basically it. I don't do a whole lot. I try to keep track of people that mean a lot to me, like Crystal.
I'm really bad with anything in my social stuff. I think I have messages on Facebook Messenger I still need to answer.
Yeah. It's not if I haven't responded, like watched a video or something from somebody, it's not because I don't want to, it's because it's just better for me not to get too involved with it. If someone wants me to see something and they show it to me and they say, hey, look at this, I'll try to look at it. But I'm not really, except for Laura and Crystal, I don't really follow anybody but our own. And so it's just, I might pick up something once in a while and look at it, but I don't really follow anything. It's just, I have too many things. I was finding that my real life stuff wasn't getting done. And so, including stuff for my shop, my writing, and all that kind of stuff, not to mention my chores and things like that. So I just am pulling back on that. But I will definitely try to keep up to date with PHN, okay? Because that's important. More important than any of the other things, except for my HFI.
Right.
Let's see here. Autism awareness is the other one that we're doing, and that's bright colors and things like that. That one is ending in, today is the 14th, so about 2 weeks, a little over 2 weeks. This one ends. So basically the same rules, but whereas the movie night had to do with movies, the movie experience, popcorn tickets, food, movie, whatever it is, as long as you can make a case for the movies. This has to be bright colored, okay? Blues and bright colors, and predominantly. So what, and then the idea is to kind of, remember people with autism and Asperger's and things like that, be aware of that, And we do have a little bit of information in the group. We've been doing this for so long that we just stopped giving out the information itself and stick mostly to anecdotal, like, with Davina, because Davina's on the spectrum.
Mm-hmm.
And we do it that way. So the same parameters for this one in terms of what projects are allowed. The featured yarns and featured patterns for both alongs is anything by me, Talia, or Laura that fits the parameters. And then for this one, for Autism Awareness, it's also the Braided Bright by George, who is 10 hours or less. And it's Modest Creations, Weighted Lapghan, and Teddy Bear, or Teddy Bear and Weighted Lapghan. I forget which one it is.
It's those two things together.
Those two things together. And because they're separate in terms of the items are finished items on their own,
Yeah.
if you do both of them, those are two projects.
Yeah, even if it's in the if they're in the pattern together.
Yeah, and unless they're less than 50 yards, which I doubt.
So here's a question. Okay, so like that bunny that I made, where you can make all the different outfits for.
Yeah.
Would the outfits count as different project? Because
I think the first one wouldn't because you want to have it dressed unless you intended not to make it. You know what I'm saying? If you intend to dress it.
I mean, I've got a naked bunny right now.
I mean, it would count as a finished object. But my point is that if you made separate outfits,
Right, and
those would, maybe not the first outfit, but subsequent outfits, yes.
or if the outfit was a different pattern, I guess. Because, like, for example, you have the one bunny that's by Tea Room. What, Mary Jane's Tea Room, I think it is.
Yep.
All of her bunnies come with their outfits.
Right.
Versus the one that does it for designed for charity, where you get a naked animal and then you have the choices of all the outfits that can go for all the.
Now that one, because the outfit doesn't come with it, I think maybe that would be separate. But with the one that comes with it,
Oh yeah, I would think that would be
it would be what, because I think it's meant to be a finished object with the.
just like the platypus for
Yes. Joanna Johnson.
Thank you. For her patterns from her book,
Yeah.
because it doesn't come naked where you have patterns.
That would be like scandalous. So, and this is the PG program. So,
You mean I can't bring my naked bunny on here?
no naked bunnies. Oh, we have plenty of them.
I know, like, what about these guys?
But they're not. They're furry.
She's furry.
Anyway, well then stop calling her naked.
Well, I mean, she's furry and naked?
No. Anyway, what was I gonna say? Oh, you guys know that if you use a featured yarn and a finished object, it's 2 chances at a prize. And if you use the featured yarn and a featured pattern for a project, it's 3 chances at a prize. You're responsible for your own multiple postings, and it's only for the finished object. I think when somebody asked us about that, and they found their own answer, but I did verify that with that person. Thank you for asking the question, because people might not realize it. Okay.
Do you remember I can't remember his name right now, the gentleman who was like an EMS and he had a really southern accent? Kenneth? Kenneth, yeah. He remember he would say like this toy was naked?
Yeah.
It was so
love
cute.
Kenneth.
Because I think he was at Southern. He was Southern, right?
Yeah, I think it was from Georgia.
Yeah. Okay.
Kenneth is a pistol. He was an EMT. I hope he's doing all right.
Yeah, I hope so too.
He had some health issues. I hope it's okay.
And that was before the bug. So
Yeah, he's just had some issues.
But yeah, that's what I think of when I think of the animals being naked. I can hear him.
He's mostly doing artwork now.
Is he? Okay. I lost track.
Yeah, I see him once in a while on Instagram and things. He's doing artwork.
I think when I lost my Instagram, I lost track of him because I had to build a new account and then find people again.
Right.
So I think I lost him after that.
Yeah, you can find him off of mine, I think.
Yeah, I probably can. Yeah. I think also some people didn't necessarily refriend me because it might have looked like it was a false, people might think it's a false account.
Right. Well, you can always message Kenneth and tell him what happens. So that's not a big deal.
Because I have lost track.
Yeah. Now we have prizes for all our longs. And this one we have a prize donation from Looney Hiker, who is Pat, and she has some very nice patterns out there, and she's donating one of her patterns, the choice of the winner, and you just have to contact her for that. So we have very, very generous donators here. We're very blessed with that.
As I'm working my way through socks, then I will end up returning to her 2 at a time. But I have all these socks I'm trying to work my way through.
Her two, yeah.
Yeah, because I have her one that's like Shenandoah National Park or whatever, because I'm planning on making the matching, what is it? A cowl? Is it a hat? She's another matching thing. I think it's
I
a
remember.
cowl.
I remember. I don't remember what it's called though. But
I have the pattern.
I went and looked on the computer. I had it written down here.
Because you wanted me to use Ruse Meadow for that, I thought.
You'll have enough for the matching for that.
No, for just one part, like the cowl. I don't think, because it didn't have nylon in it, so we weren't going to use it for the socks.
Yeah.
And you've been thinking for a while what you were going to use that for, or what I was going to make for you out of it, because you don't use fingering.
I do, but I don't like to.
Right, and for you, when you do it, it's crochet, and there wasn't enough for you to crochet anything. So
I mean, I can do the knitting. I have knit it with fingering. I just don't like to.
But I think that we had decided I was doing that pattern for you out of Ruse Meadow.
I can't remember that far back. It's your turn.
Oh, okay. Because we're doing projects now.
Yep.
Okay. Well, I'm in the middle of this one, so I'll show this one first. So in my Batman tote bag, I actually only worked on this today because I realized I hadn't worked on it this week, and I wanted to make sure I worked on it a little bit. I thankfully had another skein of this red, because I almost was going to have to run out again for this here. Thankfully, I think some of the ones that I have left, where I might run out, they're like from Knit Pick, so I might be able to pick up an extra skein, or I might have an extra skein if I need it. Because it's starting to get big, but it's still not quite as big as I want it to be for my lap. Because when I get cold, I get really cold.
Right.
And besides, I have several colors I want to work my way through. But this is the other side. At the point where I need to get my other skein added in. But that'll finish up this log, and then I can switch over to the blue.
That'll be pretty.
Yeah, so.
Dave's excited about the blankets we make.
Well, this I don't know if it really counts as a blanket. This is a lap.
It's a lap blanket.
When I'm done with this one, then I'll be able to focus on my other one that I adjusted of his to have more of the heart pattern in it, because I didn't want just this long section of blank. So I just had the heart pattern repeat like 3 times.
Right.
And I have the huge section of, I actually even lessened the amount. When you make it bigger, he had you do like tons more seed stitch. And I was like, no.
I don't like seed stitch.
I'm doing seed stitch to a point, and then I made the pattern like 3 times. So I look forward to that one, because I really enjoyed it when I did his baby blanket. I just had to adjust it for my desires. And I'm doing it out of that bulky weight red heather that I'm using the gray one for doing his sweater. I'm using the red one of that for that blanket. So
I'm just trying to see if it's raining, because my daughter's outside. Fina's outside because she wanted to go out, and we're not sure if it's going to rain. So I sent her out. I told her she has to come in if it even starts raining. Usually she's pretty good, but she's kind of been a little bit like she wants to do what she wants. So we'll see what happens.
So yeah, there's this. I think adding the blue in is going to add another different flavor, because it's kind of gone autumnal. The past few ones, like at first it was baby, and now it's gotten autumnal. I can't quite figure out the full feel of it, just because it feels like the colors are just, I don't know. It definitely has autumnal at some point. It feels very earthy. I'm not sure if adding the blue will change that, but yep, there's that. I figure if I do allow myself, if I listen to audiobooks for a little bit, I'll probably be able to get this log done, and then be able to start the blue before the next podcast.
Cool.
And I need to get more reading done, even anyway, whether via audiobooks or books. So
I still maintain that reading is not audio. Audio is not reading, it's listening. I know we count it, but it's not reading, it's listening. Okay, let me just clip this, because I'm getting in my 8th or 16th of a row here on the shawl, because that's
it's so big now.
Yeah, and also I've got other things I need to be working on. So this is my Film Noir shawl, and this is from the Anastasia Sattel scrap shawl pattern. And you've guys seen this. Right now, all I'm doing is working this on the podcast, because I have something else I have to finish, quite frankly. And it is getting quite big. And a lot of people say, well, it's finished, it's big enough. But no, it's really not. Okay, I want a big shawl, a big one. So this has got a little ways to go yet. Not too terribly long. I mean, it's just...
It matches your outfit.
It does, even though my outfit's green, not gray.
Because of my glasses, I consistently see it as gray. Actually, even over it's a very gray.
It is. It's gray-green.
It's very gray.
So this is, I mean, if you look at it more close to your thing, you can see it's green.
No, it still looks gray.
But, well, that's your glasses. Because
no, I was looking over my glasses.
It's green. I'm looking at it like this. Now, when I didn't see it next to anything else, it looked gray. But this is, and you can see it looks like a gray, but it's gray-green. So it's kind of long, but not long enough. So it needs to be continued. And this is a lot of Miss Babs and Dragonfly fibers that was just kind of sitting there doing nothing. And when in doubt...
Well, the Miss Babs you actually picked up. Or you might have had one skein of it.
I had some other Miss Babs.
Because it's all the one color. It's a couple different bases for it.
That's my preferred yarn for this shawl, is Miss Babs Yowza. But I may have to maybe start using my own yarn or something. Not because her yarn is not good, but because it's getting a little bit out of my price range.
Right. And I usually wait for sales to pick up my one favorite color.
I still love her yarn, and she's still a good price. It's just that prices being the way they are, it's just kind of expensive.
Yeah, usually she has a sale like once or twice a year.
Yeah, she has one right after Christmas.
I sort of before Christmas, I thought.
No, right after Christmas, because Laura always nudges me and says, "Hey."
She does the same to me too, so I'm able to get a little bit more of that. It's good because that's the only way I'm able to get that yarn.
Well, she does it to me. She's like, "Mom, you can get Talia this, and this."
And then she says to me, "Hey, Talia, you can."
She get ha ha ha.
Well, this lets me know too, and because that's why I ended up having enough for what project did I need it for? I need it for a project, and it might be my hood, and I was able to pick up some for that, and you ended up picking me up some. I don't remember what weight you got me.
I get a lot of the times when you get like amounts of yarn that you don't expect. Laura will have tagged me on something and say, "Hey, Mom, this is going on now."
Usually if there's some way that I can get Squash Blossom, there's someone who lets me know because they know that's my favorite.
Yep.
Miss Babs, and
this is starting to fill out nicely.
That's my goal is to. I have Squash Blossom in sock weight. I haven't gotten around to starting my socks in it yet, but I have multiple socks I need to finish before I can go and fulfill my desire of having all the Squash Blossom things.
Angel Bag was what I had that in. Your turn.
Okay. So, in my little skein in the big wool, little skein in the big wool bag. It's a Velveteen Rabbit bag. This drawstring has lasted so long. I'll show it in 5 seconds because I want to finish my stitches on here. I don't know why I thought that I would not be in the middle of a row when you're done talking. 2 stitches. Okay. Let me show the bag. And this is a sock bag I usually make sure I have in use. Hang on. I really need to stop hanging this off the end of it because all it does is get caught in things.
Right.
I'll just put it in here.
I know I have a couple of those. I don't know what bag they're in.
I keep them in different bags because I always have a pair of socks in this one, though. I usually have it in here.
I don't know why I have one at all. I think because I can Kitchener other things than just...
Yeah, you can Kitchener other things. I've done
hat.
Actually, I had to Kitchener a toy recently.
Yeah, I think I had to do a hat one time.
Yeah, I've seen Kitcheners for hats. Mostly I see it for socks, but I have seen it for other things. Not as often, but I have. Okay, so in this bag is my Starburst sock, and the pattern is actually, I have the pattern in here. I think it's Vanilla Cream. Yep, Vanilla Cream Socks by KF Jones. And the first sock is done. I just need to weave in the ends. Here it is. This is Flamingoing by the Pool. It's a Lollipop Girl. I almost said just Laura yarn. Lollipop Girl yarns. And the heel and toe is highlighter. The heel and toe for this one is Pinkalicious. And it's the same Flamingoing by the Pool. And it's really fun.
Look how different it looks.
How different it looks just because, I mean, when I see it together, it's not quite as much, but this brings out different colors with the yellow than what it does with the pink. And it's fun. You were saying they almost look like they don't go together now. Mm-hmm. But, yeah, I enjoy it. Because the last time I did something like this, I had the colors in both socks. I just wanted something different this time. and I have other of her collections where I have heels and toes, I believe. I was saving the one that was named after the Weasleys, which are from Harry Potter, for a pattern that's named after one of the kids in the family. I was like, well, of course it has, the Ron Weasley pattern has to be used for the Weasley family yarn. I mean, that's just, it wouldn't be right to do it otherwise. It's all oranges and stuff because they're all redheads. But, yeah. And I have my little teapot progress keeper to let me know what, whoopsie, flipped around, what the right side is. So, but yeah, there it is.
All right, this is another one that just basically is getting worked on during the podcast. Mm-hmm. This is in my PHN 10-year podiversary. I think this is the extra large Silver Shed USA bag. And I see that Anne is destashing. I think she's going into full retirement. On Instagram, she said she was destashing. She's got a great big sale. So I don't know how long it's lasting. I think she said 2 days if you want to take a look at what's over there. I saw it on Instagram. I just saw it briefly because I don't know exactly. I don't know if she's selling her fabric or if she's selling the bags or what she's selling.
Right.
So if you're interested, you might want to go over there and see what's going on for that. In my bag is my strawberry shortcake baby blanket from the Cerebel Scarf pattern by Anastasia Sattel. I just realized something.
Would you just realize something?
No, this isn't right.
What?
Never mind. This is not from this is Cerebel. It is the Cerebel, but it's not by Anastasia.
No,
it's by
it's by
Sarah Sweethearts.
Yes.
Okay. So this is, I only worked about total maybe half a row because just to give you something to see other than
rematch, kind of,
to give you something to see just the one project. So I worked a little bit during the podcast itself, and then that way it counts. Because during the day with my schedule, I've been changing my schedule. I've been doing stuff. Like today, I had other things to do in the morning that I'll talk about later. So sometimes I don't get any crocheting or knitting in, except for what I get here. And then when I do have time, I have to work on the other projects so I can get it finished.
Yeah.
So yeah, this is the ice yarn, and it's a fuzzy one. I'm not sure why.
Well, I didn't know that they carried fuzzy, so when we picked that up,
and I'm not sure
we didn't pay attention.
Ice yarns.
I don't think it specifies on the bag.
I don't know. It just.
Yeah, it doesn't really say on the back because the colorway is the one that's Picasso.
Mm-hmm. So I don't know exactly how we would make it so I don't know it has a halo to it.
I guess we just really pay attention to what it looks like on the screen.
I don't think you can tell that. I mean,
yeah,
there should be something that.
But Picasso's the colorway. I mean, maybe I think it still is the same amount of polyester to acrylic. You'll have to check that against some of your other ones.
Yeah. So, but anyway, this is a really pretty color, and I think it's a very sweet color for a little girl.
Yeah.
It's just kind of, it makes me think of like My Little Ponies and Cotton Candy and all that kind of stuff. So I like the way it works out. It's pretty. The two people who got me hooked on this, 3 people, no, 2, Crystal and Kara, they gave me free packages of this. So
I don't know why it also makes me think of things like gummy bears. The TV show.
Gummy bears are a little. I think of them more as primary or brighter, but Care Bears.
Care Bears, yeah. More. I don't know why. I just got the Gummy Bears theme song. When I said I get
80s.
That's my view. What I'm
80s.
thinking of like the 80s cartoons, I guess, because I'm thinking Gummy Bears. I'm thinking
not TMNT.
No, I didn't watch TMNT growing up.
I didn't watch the 80s one. I didn't even really know about them until the 90s.
Yeah, because I watched Gummy Bears. I remember seeing like bits and pieces of TMNT younger, but it was like Gummy Bears, Rescue Rangers, the one with Blue, Darkwing Duck, My Little Ponies.
Yeah, this one's very My Little Pony.
Yeah, well, Davina and I were crazy about the My Little Ponies growing up. We had the books, we had the toys.
Yep.
Watched the TV show, although we didn't do that quite as much as the other things.
Went to car boot sales too.
Oh, it was so fun picking those up at car boot sales.
A car boot sale, for those of you who are not from Britain, is a like flea market, or they have all their cars and they're their trunks are all over.
The My Little Ponies just aren't the same anymore. They were a lot cooler when Devine and I were kids.
Well, it's kind of like the
Bratz?
no, the
Beanie Babies.
Beanie Babies. They're not the same anymore either.
Do they have? Are they still doing Beanie Babies?
Yeah, they do. I got a lot of these here. My Calico Cat I got when we were here.
Well, yeah, I thought we got the Beanie Babies was kind of thing when we were in high school. It wasn't as much when we were younger.
Maybe. I'm not sure. But in any event, they're different. And so they had really nice toys and things like the Kinder Eggs. They had
The Kinder
really
Eggs are so
nice,
much nicer than
we still have stuff that we got 35 years ago.
The Terrapin toys, those were so cute. I still have my Happy Terrapin. I need to bring him upstairs so he is actually not in a box and have him like set somewhere where I can see him, maybe my tea stuff, because he's on his back. He's got like this happy smile. He was always my favorite.
We've got. I mean, the Kinder Eggs used to have really solid, nice.
It was
toys.
the sharks and the terrapins.
Yeah,
that were the nice ones. Because I used to want to collect all the terrapins. I'd always be disappointed if I got a shark or was it sharks?
I don't remember.
It was some sort of water animal. I was always disappointed when I get them instead of the terrapin. I mean, they're all both water animals, but you know.
It's your turn.
Is it? Oh, okay. So in my probably should do this one before Davina comes in. In my really soft, happy brown bag that came from Knitter's Magic.
That's our local yarn store in Winchester.
And it has kitty cats playing with yarn and the inside. I love this interior fabric. I wouldn't mind having a bag, but this is the exterior fabric because it's just super cute for a yarn bag. I wonder where the person got the fabric. Not that I would know how to make a bag.
I'm sure that Laura could put you in touch with her. Laura from our yarn shop.
Because I totally need another bag, but it's just such an adorable fabric. Look at that. I'm not sure if I'm showing it very well.
That's pretty.
But it's like how a cat's playing with yarn. It's perfect. But in here, this is why I need the Swift, because I can't continue this until I wind up more yarn. This is Davina's sweater that I've been making for forever. I'm almost done with the other pockets so I can attach it to the body. The first one has already been attached. I mean, it's not closed up or anything. Whoops, this is the wrong direction. It's not closed up or anything, but you can see where it's got the slide in. This one needs to be closed up. I'm just finishing up the last little bit, and then I'll be able to attach it. And then I'll just be heading my way down. I'll finish putting the pockets the way they need to be. I'll close up the bottom of the pockets, and then I will be able to do the sleeves. I think it's a shawl collar, too. Oh, and a zipper. I think this has a zipper.
I don't remember.
I'm pretty sure it's a zipper because I think I was trying to get one because Davina likes my green one so much. I'm not making that one for her because it has like 20 charts on it.
She might get it though. Is that the one I have?
No.
Oh, okay.
Yours doesn't have. Yours might have a little bit of cables on here. She wants my one.
She
the
wants
Vivian one that has like all the shaping and stuff. It was the first cabled sweater I did. I chose the most complex one I could possibly do. Has the hood with the cable on top when you pull it over. That one's complex and the white one's complex. But I actually think my very first cable one was the most complex cable project I've worked. Because why not? You just don't. I didn't know what I shouldn't do as an early project, so I just did it. Mm-hmm. I learned so much from that project, actually.
Yeah, you usually do. If you don't know anything, you're going to learn a lot.
Yeah, well, in retrospect, I would not recommend that to someone as a first cable project. You have to be really driven to do that. It's a Vivian by...
Probably Succotique, is it?
Yes, it's Succotique.
Yeah.
She does nice... I love her pattern because the way she did the shaping with it, she had the cables follow the shaping. It's just a very flattering sweater. It's one of my favorites. But anyway, Davina likes that one. Because, of course, she does.
Davina's high maintenance.
She is. So she's getting this one. Well, she said the other day how she didn't have a heavy sweater. And I was like, you're gonna. Mm-hmm. If I focus, I might be able to finish by Christmas.
I was thinking about that.
But I like it. It does have cables in the back. It's not quite the way she wants it. But
she'll like it.
I'm hoping because I'll add a zipper that'll make her happy.
Yeah, I think she'll like it.
And it's gray. So.
Yes. It's Quicksilver.
And I'm hoping because she'll actually wear a sweater and not give you a hard time about it. If she has a nice heavy one. But I need to wind up more yarn in order to continue. That's the only thing that stopped me from continuing on Sunday. I went as far as I could.
I might have to buy some more yarn for this one.
Or I might do it on Saturday.
Okay, you done?
Yes, I am.
All right. in my bag from Laura. See? Or Alicia PHN, the crochet hook. Because I do knit, but I'm predominantly a crocheter.
I have a feeling that I'll probably have to pick up more from my red blanket as well at some point.
This is the one that's been taking all my time because it has to be done.
Right. Well, I just take pictures of the rosaries that'll be going with that as a present when you're done, because I need to have it for one of the few ones I get every once in a while. Put up in my shop for people.
Yeah.
I'm missing this marriage season because I'm afraid he'll pick them up.
Yeah, no, he can't. My brother can't be allowed to do that.
No, because I made them rosaries for their wedding, and I can't have him see them and be like, oh, great. I was wondering if you'd have rosaries in your shop.
So this...
Again?
You can see that this has grown quite a bit. It's touching the floor. And I have to figure out, and yeah, I know I have to weave in the ends. I have to find out. I think I'm going to have to do a border because it's not quite wide enough. I don't want to block it and have it just, come back in on itself.
If you could find, it'd be nice if you could find an almost kind of lacy border.
I haven't decided if I want a lacy one or if I want something that's plain, like a straight,
and then kind of make it pop out more.
Like a single crochet or something, or half double crochet or something across the end and just go around.
Yeah, I think you either need to go really plain or more lacy.
But so this is almost done, but I have to figure out what I'm going to do for the border, and that might, if it's something lacy, it's going to take a lot of concentration. So I don't know if I'm going to do that or if I'm going to do like a single crochet, or maybe something like a single crochet and then a similar pattern to this in between, and then more single crochet.
I'm afraid if you do that, it'll take attention away from the middle pattern. I feel like you either need to go super lacy or you need to go super plain.
I think super lacy will be too busy.
Yeah, so maybe super plain, because then it'll A, not take too much focus, and then B, all the focus will be on the interior. Yeah. Kind of like because that's kind of like when people, we see it all the time in them blankets. You'll see like the whole border being plain, and then the inside being where all the excitement is.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think that you're right. More lacy might be too busy. You kind of have to commit to the super plain.
I'm going to have to get more of my yarn, though, because I only have, depending on how much longer I want to make this, I only have 2 more full skeins of this. So I'm going to have to probably buy some more. Or I can use what I have for my other blanket, the baby blanket, and just buy more for that.
Because then you'd have it on hand.
Yeah.
You can always go for the baby blanket later and go, oops, I need some.
Yeah.
Oh, oops is a bunny, though.
Oops is a bunny. I don't have any tea, so I don't know why the tea is gone.
Presumably because you drank it. You drink your tea a lot faster than I do. And now, granted, I have more, but you've always drunk your tea faster than I do.
Well, I don't want to have the tea out when I was working on this. I want to
well, that's true.
On it.
Are you done with that one?
Yep.
Okay, so the last one I need to show is in my bucket bag. This is by Erin Lane. It was a gift from Margaret. And this is my crafting sheepies bag. They're doing all sorts of things. They're spinning, they're sewing, they're knitting. I'm sorry, that's crocheting. I think he's knitting too. Yeah, she's knitting. So these are very crafty.
Creative.
Oh, this one must have made a toy, because I'm hoping it's not a baby it's throwing up. I'm hoping it's throwing up a toy. Right there. If they are throwing up a toy, that's toy abuse.
Better than baby abuse.
True.
Yeah, I think that's a little toy.
I think it is too. Especially since the arm matches.
Unless it's a actual ladybug who's jumping on her.
I'm pretty sure it's a toy. Because a random ladybug would be kind of like weird.
Might not be a random ladybug, like your friend.
Oh, this one's... whoever's knitting here is kind of mad because she's got like the swearing symbol on top of her. Her project must not be going so well. Oh, looks like this one is scrapbooking.
Oh, very journaling or scrapbooking, yeah.
So these are very, very crafty.
Creative, yep.
Yeah, this one's doing bead work. Huh.
Painting? Is that painting? Yeah, painting.
Where's the painting? Oh, yeah, I didn't see that one. Yeah, this is full of things I've never noticed. I don't know what this one's doing. He's just sort of like sitting there, like kind of going boo, while everyone else is. This is a lazy sheep, while everyone else are dressed. All the other sheeps are industrious. That one sheep isn't.
Maybe she's thinking.
Maybe.
She's imagining.
Oh, it's a sewing sheep that's swearing.
Yeah.
Not the knitting sheep.
Yeah.
Okay. So anyway, in this bag, first of all, these are also sewing, knitting sheeps. This is a Slip Stitch Studio DPN keeper. I actually tend to prefer theirs. It's been a while since I picked some up from them. They were one of the early places I went to for bags. A lot of my geeky ones I use mostly for storing things are theirs. I have a Firefly one. I have quite a few. I can't remember all of them.
I have one that I'm using for, I think I'm using it for stuffing.
Yeah, because they're very floppy. But I went through a huge Erin Lane bags phase.
Erin Lane?
I'm sorry, not Erin Lane. Slip Stitch Studios. I apologize. But in here is the platypus. This is, I call him Franklin. Whoops. But the pattern is Freddy. Mom can always rename him, but he's been Franklin in my head ever since I started making him. I started on the beak.
Oh, yay.
I'll have to stuff him pretty soon. And then I had to, I think, because the eyes are stitched on, I'll probably use the same blue as for his overalls, so he'll match. It'll be kind of cute.
Bring his eyes out.
Yeah. But yeah, I have to put the arms in, the 2 legs.
He doesn't look like a deranged sock puppet anymore.
Oh, there's a tail here. So he's got the legs here, the tail back here. I'm on the beak. I'll be stitching the eyes, and then when I after I add all the limbs and finish the beak and stuffing all that, I'll be able to start the overalls.
Nice.
I think this will be really pretty, and this will also be the color of his eyes.
Be nice.
I think she had a lighter blue, but I fell in love with this one from Heartland.
I love Heartland. It's got a little bit of a halo to it.
Yep, it does. And this colorway is Olympic. And the one I'm using for the main body is another Lion Brand, but this is Lion Brand Basic Stitch. This was given to me by Aunt Jane.
It was nice, but that's pretty color.
Yeah, and I picked up a little bit more, I think, because I needed more for the project. And this is Taupe, I think, Heather.
I think, yeah.
I think when I finish, I'll send her pictures so she sees what I finally ended up using this for.
Right.
Oh, and I think I picked some of the matching yarn. I think this yarn might be also the same as the body. This is, not the same color, but the same brand. Anti-pilling, Basic Stitch. Oh, I'm sorry. This is Gold Heather. This is Taupe.
I was going to say I didn't look like
Yeah, this is Taupe. This one's Gold Heather. That makes sense. I'll have quite a bit of this one left. I think, well, I'd take a look. This might be used for the tail and the feet. I don't think it's used for the arms. I'll have to see. But, yeah, I think he's going to be cute. It's nice to see things developing where I can actually see what he's going to become. Whereas before, he just looked kind of weird. I think it'll be even better once he has his stuffing. Mm-hmm. I'm kind of surprised she has me stuffing when I am. Before I close up the beak, she'll have me stuff up here. And I guess she's going to have me stuff the rest through the arms.
Huh.
Because she's not had me stuff to this point. I looked over the pattern, so... I mean, well, maybe she'll have me stuff through the tail. Because I can fit my hand through here. She might have me do that. But yeah. This is this is the first time I've worked one for toys, so...
Joan Johnson's quite talented.
Yes, she is. Although I am debating with I have to see if I wear it more, but the yellow shawl sweater thing, the way the sleeves land, because I'm always so cold, I'm not sure if it's a good design for me. I might take it out and put it in a different sweater. I enjoyed knitting it, but I just don't think I'm not wearing it like I thought I would, because the way it's cut, it just doesn't work for my wardrobe. And I'd rather have that yarn in something I'll use than not. So I think I might end up taking that out. Maybe put it in a shawl.
Mm-hmm. We want her shawls.
I have to take a look and see through her shawls and see if there's a nice big one. Because I'm currently doing a red one of her shawls. That walking in town one. I need to go back to knitting that one.
I started that one and pulled it out. I forget why. I think I got the
You
count.
had in that pretty brown too.
It was that count. It was the one you said the count was really weird.
Yeah, there was something at the beginning.
Because it wasn't hard. But
no,
the count
it's the first. It was the first row or two, and I had to actually write a correction for myself in there.
And I don't have that correction.
Yeah, I'll have to take a look at your pattern and fix that.
Because I might be able to fix something in crocheting, I can't always fix it in knitting.
Yeah, but
okay, let me
go ahead and put this back in here. But yeah, it's not that I don't like the way that one pattern looked. It's just it doesn't work for my wardrobe. I'm always wearing long sleeves, and it looks awkward because it stops right here, and then the sleeve. It just doesn't look as pretty when you wear long sleeves all the time.
Let me put this away. Can talk about other things.
And I had to think about the blue one. I think the blue one, once I get the weight under control a little bit more, it'll be better. Right now, it cuts me at a weird spot.
I don't know what one you're talking
That's
about.
the Anne Green Gables one.
Oh, right.
Where it kind of swoops like this, but
Yeah.
if you have some weight problems, it ends up emphasizing it.
Mm-hmm.
But if I get that under control, I think I'll be able to wear that again.
Mm-hmm.
But I can't right now.
Right. Well, something to shoot for.
Yeah.
Let me put this away. This is almost getting too big for Laura's bag, even. I might have to put it in Christina's bag.
What I might do, Mom, see if you like the way it fits, if the blue one fits, and if you like it, I might give it to you.
Yeah, that's always an issue. That's also always an option.
It's that nice alpaca. Because we were talking about me making it for you in the green.
Right.
But I already had the blue one made, and that's a style you've always liked the loose sweaters.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe I will just give that to you.
Well, let's see if you lose the weight first.
Well, let me just, because I'm not wearing it, I'd rather see you wear it than not have it being worn at all.
I love sweaters.
And I think it'll look good on you. It's a pretty color. And I'm thinking also maybe just because that I might need something that I'm able to close.
Mm-hmm.
I just have to learn what works for my particular body type, and
We're all learning that.
So
I have some things in my wardrobe that I don't know what to do with because they don't.
Well, you see, you and Davina kind of have a nice body type because it just most things can work for you because of the way my particular body type is. Even without weight problems, it kind of is awkward.
Anybody who's had babies has to worry about a specific area, no matter how good shape you're in.
Yeah.
Unless you're like super workout person.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, I think that I might end up giving that sweater to you just because I think because it stays open, the way it lands, even if I didn't have weight problems, like I said, it emphasizes the hips a little bit more, the way it swoops, and then it makes me look bigger than I actually am.
Well, it's up to you.
So I will pass that on to you. I think it looks pretty for you.
Excellent.
Okay. The sleeves are too long for Davina.
Yeah.
Besides, it's more your color.
Yeah.
She would think it's dull.
Yes. Okay, so
But yes, that is all for projects. I did do a little bit of journaling, but I didn't bring it with me because it was very, very simple. I just wanted to make sure I got a little bit done. If I want to later, I can fill it in. I did use my stamps for the first time. I ended up making it too light at first. Thankfully, I did it on one of those like tearaway things. So I just tore that part away, and I just like really got it inked up, and then I was able to stamp.
I was watching a video and thought, oh wow, that's how you do it for the stamps that don't fit on the. If you want to get the.
Yeah, I was wondering about that.
You take the pad, the stamp, and you.
Okay, that makes sense. That makes sense.
And so I was like,
I think I ended up doing something like that just to try to make it work. I think also initially what I was trying to do, and I can't remember if I did end up doing this. I did one part one color, and I then did the other part the other one, like gold and silver, I think.
So I don't have any journaling at this point. I mean, I keep saying I'm going to sit down and do it. In fact, I have ideas in my head for things.
I found a super pretty set of, I put it on my wish list just to sort of keep an eye on it. It's a super pretty set of like thin markers. They even advertise it as being for like scrapbooking and things like that.
I have a couple sets, one that Daddy got me and one that I picked up myself.
Well, I like the way it's stored because it's stored almost like colored pencils are.
Yeah, the one that Daddy got me is in a zipper thing. Like,
that's nice
like
too.
needles.
But this one, let me bring up the
I have to show it to you. You'll recognize it when you see it.
lists. And I'll show this to y'all too because it's really pretty. There it is. Hold on, let me bring it up. It's being obnoxious. Can you kind of see that? There we go.
Yeah.
So it's kind of pretty. It looks like a house.
And it looks like it has a thin on one side and a thick on the other, like a pen.
Oh yeah, I think it does. It's a thick and a thinner, which is nice because
I've seen
if you want to use it to trace around, or if you want to, sometimes I just want to use it for the lettering because I want to have colors maybe for my lettering, for my stencils, but I don't want too thick of a thing, and I have trouble finding something that's colored that's thin because my colored pencils are too thick.
Well, they have something like that at Walmart.
This I just like the not only what it has on either end, but the fact that it has that really pretty box. Yeah, you're right, Mom. It says dual tip. Yeah. It makes me think of Jane Austen, the box, to be quite honest with you. So it's one of those things I'm keeping an eye on. Maybe if I'm, good with my spending, I can then pick it up at some point. Because I hope part of, when I need things to kind of inspire me.
I'm kind of that way too, but the ones that I picked up for myself, these allow you to, they're dark enough if you color dark enough with them, but you can also write over them. It's like having something, how you see sometimes a shadow of something over it.
Yeah.
Under it. So I have a whole bunch of these. And this is the set that Mike got me about a year and a half ago. I think it was for either Christmas this year or my birthday or something. I forget what he got it for me. And this is a gel pen set. So you've got pens up here. And then you've got... These are refill inks. So the refill inks.
That is kind of cool.
And then... See, there's more pens here. So there's all.
Oh, wow, you've quite a set there.
Yeah, I haven't even touched them yet. So you can see all the different pens.
What I like about this particular set is I could see, because I have books on my desk, I could see putting this in front of my books, and because it's decorative.
Right.
And you can take the top off.
Right. Oh, that's nice, yeah.
So all you do is take the top off, and it can stay where it is, so it can remain a part of...
It's like a crayon box.
It is like a crayon box, but the crayon box you have to flip. This one actually comes fully off, so you don't need to pull it over. You can keep it where it's at if it's like keeping your books up.
Now, I'm not a big coloring person. But
I've never been,
I
yeah.
can see me using these with the pens and putting them in my journal.
I can see that.
Because they're kind of whimsical.
I've never been... This one would be really pretty.
Yeah. Well, I think all of them would be pretty for the most part. Just that, it's just... They're
You would have to make like a several-day project just so that way you could be like not get too bored.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
This makes me think of a griffin.
Yeah, I don't think... It's an eagle, I think.
It is an eagle, but just... I think... Remember, I still have him somewhere. When the lady across the street from where Grandma used to live...
He's up there.
My griffin?
Yeah, he's up there.
My silver griffin?
Yeah.
Where is he?
He was over there. I took him because you
well, no, I wasn't going to get rid of him. I just needed a place to put him. I wouldn't have gotten rid of him.
I've had him for years. I don't think he was yours because I was using him for writing.
Maybe I gave him... No, he was mine. I gave him to you then because I remember we were given a choice of the boys' toys.
Right.
And Davina... I can't remember what Davina... She picked a tiger, like a green and something tiger.
It was He-Man's tiger.
And I picked the silver griffin.
Yeah.
And I must have given you the griffin at one point.
Yeah, because I had it for writing for years and years.
And that might have been why I gave him to you, because I didn't have a lot of space, and you could use him for,
because he was the basis of one of my guardians.
Yeah, that's probably why I let you have my griffin. But I'm glad he's here somewhere, because...
I'll show you where he is when we're done. I can't get across it.
No. But yeah, so...
Okay, so that's that part in terms of graphic novel. Don't have any royalties.
I don't either, because any royalties that I would have had would have been books.
I got some ebooks, but that's,
Yeah, because that's usually lately I'll catch like a book on sale or something like that. Sometimes I don't have any choice but to get a physical one. The last book I got, it smelled like... First time I've gotten a used book that smells like smoke. Like someone was cigarette smoking. Mom wasn't able to pick it up, but Dad was able to.
Usually I can. Usually it really bothers me that I couldn't this time.
I'm hoping it'll air out a little bit.
It will. Just leave it open and kind of flip through it.
Yeah, because it's a fairly thick book. It's going through different things that... It's a history book, but it goes to like sociological and all these different things. It's really kind of cool. So I'm looking forward to that, but later, and hopefully it won't be as smoky by the time I get
Like I said, every couple of hours or 3 hours, go through and just flip the pages.
Yeah, because I don't want to Lysol it, because I actually have a huge problem. I would have more of a problem with Lysol than I do with the little bit of tobacco smell.
Just like I said, flip it through and make sure when you open it again, open it somewhere else.
Because I also have to be careful because I don't want to ruin my binding.
Yes, we have to open it somewhere else.
Because it is a soft back, which I feel like the binding gets ruined even easier.
I don't think it will just for airing it out.
Yeah.
I don't think it will. Unless you have to unless it has to be kept open somehow.
I think I was able to get this one new too, because sometimes I can't because the price is too high, and then I'll go through and find like the lowest possible price for the best value. Right. I've become quite good at that. Anyway, yes. No sash enhancements. I guess that is then a bit. That's it for us. Shop. I don't really have anything for shop.
I have started updating my shop. Everything is listed. I'm just putting things in a little at a time. I've got about half the stuff that I've shown you in the shop, and I'll put the other half in the next day or two. So I should have I think it's a total of 7 listings.
But you have more than that to list, don't you?
No, it's 7 listings, but it's 12 skeins.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say I knew you did more than 7 skeins, and you have to, even though this isn't shop, you need to dye the yarn for your socks.
I will. I have to. I'm with taking my time is this blanket. It's time sensitive. I have to do this.
No, you do.
The other thing is I'm working on a design for a log cabin, and I did a rough. I'll just kind of flash it because it's not.
Well, it's very rough. It won't even give anything away because it's
just colors.
Yeah.
So I've been working on that, and that's with these pens.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and that's with me coloring with it. If you just do an outline with it, you can write over it, and it looks really nice. But
I'm sure those are very nice in your journal.
That's what I meant.
Yeah.
Yeah. So so I'm working on a design. I haven't had a chance to start. I haven't decided if I'm going to use acrylic or if I'm going to use my own yarn.
Excuse me. It might be fun in your own yarn.
Yeah, Daddy said to do whatever I want to do. So even if I just buy some yarn one at a time, I haven't decided if I'm going to do straight logs or I'm going to do logs that look like blocks, kind of like I was doing with the case blanket. But I haven't.
Well, at the start, depending on what weight you're going to go with, I probably have some leftovers of your yarn to at least do the first. Woohoo! Hang on, stitches running away. The first square or two, or the first log or two. After that point, you'll have to start. You'll be on your own.
The middle one is probably gonna be solid.
Okay. I don't know if I have any solid of yours that are small amounts.
I have solids.
Well, I was trying to see if I had anything solidish that could go for your center square because that's the smallest amount you're going to need.
And by solid, I don't mean a solid yarn, although I have this. I mean one yarn. Like.
Oh yeah. I have skeins of yours that I don't think you have any of them in there, but I know I have multiple skeins that you've dyed. That I didn't use all of it.
I don't want to do anything lighter than a DK, and I prefer.
And I think most of the ones I have. I have my big bucket of DK Sport, worsted.
I don't want to use any sport. It's too light.
I think you'll be able to tell when I show it to you.
DK and worsted are about. I even toyed with the idea of doing bulky.
I was wondering if you're going to do bulky. Yeah.
Because
Now that's going to be more expensive.
Yeah, it will be. But,
I mean, it'll build faster. You'll have fewer colors.
Yeah.
But it'll be heavier, which will be nice.
Yeah. So I'm debating. I'd like to do. I'd really like to do it worsted. Is what I'd like to do it.
Now, are you right now the way you're designing it? It's going to be a square versus a rectangle. Do you want it to be a square?
It doesn't matter. I just have to make it big enough.
Because that is one of the challenges of a log cabin is its natural tendencies to be square, which is kind of an awkward size for a blanket.
I think what I would have to do to make
an awkward shape.
What I would have to do is make this my center, and then you end up having a oblong. You just.
Well, what? I think it was one of the ones I did that it was not a true, or maybe it's the one you did. Where it wasn't a true log cabin.
It was a half log cabin. The problem with that is that it didn't. It just grew. It didn't grow. You couldn't make it any bigger than a certain amount, otherwise it was too thin.
Oh, okay. Okay.
So what I'm saying is instead of making a square center, I could make this
right. I see what you're saying.
Longer,
and then you would just keep going that.
Yeah.
You wouldn't necessarily hit.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I see what you're saying.
So yeah, I'm hoping to work on that. I keep trying to do my design for the one that Ty is sitting on, but I can't remember how I did it. I mean, I can reverse engineer it, but it's going to take a lot of work to figure out what I did.
And work.
Brain power. I might still do it. I mean, I should. I mean, I can do things like that for crochet. I should do it, but maybe I'll do it for a baby blanket size and then go from there. Because honestly, all you're doing is expensive.
Mom, I have so many lists of the sizes. And once you get your gauge swatch, which is what I do for mine, is once you get your gauge swatch, you just do the math, and then you can write your pattern for multiple sizes, and that's what I ended up doing for my baby blankets.
Well, that will be something to think about once things slow down between wanting to get yarn in the shop and getting this gift done, because the gift takes priority over everything.
Yeah.
So it has to be done, but there will be more things going in the shop. I already have a couple skeins new in there. I will be putting up other skeins tomorrow morning, and maybe the next day, or maybe I'll just put them all up tomorrow, depending if I only have three listings. I might put them all together and go from there. So that's what I have to talk about for the shop.
Alrighty, so I think that's about it.
Okay. I've got my dental. If you don't want to hear health related stuff or life stuff, you're only concerned with the crafting, that's fine. We love to have you here, but
we know it's not everyone's cup of tea.
Listening to people talk about medical stuff or things like that, real life stuff, maybe isn't everybody's cup of tea. So if you don't want to stay for this, we'll say goodbye. Wish you a very wonderful, blessed week, and hope to see you for the Fun of the Woman Cave next week. But we just want to let you know that we're doing real life stuff now. So we'll see those people later. But before you go, we want to thank the people, just in case one of these people wants to leave. I don't think they would, but just in case, we want to thank Wendy, who is MacGyver, Kara, Renna, Looney Hiker, Paula, and Brittany for commenting, and anybody else that we might have missed because they weren't there when I was doing it. We thank them as well. We always love to see your comments. I tend to do the comments the day before we podcast.
I try to remember to heart everything, but if I'm having a particularly bad week, I won't necessarily remember. Am I sitting on someone?
Snickerdoodles.
Oh, okay. I had all the different animals attack me today, so I don't know.
Snickerdoodles is named after my kitty cat, who I had to get rid of. That's who I made it for.
You dyed that yarn, didn't you?
Mm-hmm. This is Orange Tabby.
That was food coloring, wasn't it?
I believe this one was a food coloring.
Because that was early on, yeah.
Early dye yarns.
Okay, I believe the blue is Heidi's yarn.
Yes. And the black, I think, is Nitpicks.
Yeah.
So, I'm assuming that everybody who doesn't want to hear about life stuff is gone. And if not, they'll skedaddle when we'll start talking. It's not a whole lot. I have a dental appointment. I think I mentioned before that we are going to try a day and night guard for me, for my jaw, because it's very difficult for me to eat sometimes, and I can't, to go to the dentist just to open my mouth for cleaning is very challenging and painful. So they are going to try a night guard and then a day guard, and I can eat with it apparently and all that kind of stuff, and we'll see if that helps. They say maybe 6 weeks for the day guard. Night guard will be predominant. It's like I'm wearing a night guard now. It's not a big deal. So hopefully that will help, and I will be able to eat most of the stuff again. I don't know if I'll be able to eat popcorn and stuff again. I like popcorn, but if I can eat most of the stuff, I'll be happy with that.
Right.
Like raw carrots and things like that, which I really miss. So that's happening this week on Friday.
I think my appointment is
next week.
Yeah.
But yours is not on Friday. Yours is on a... Is it?
It is. I aim for a Friday.
That's the last Friday, isn't it?
I don't think so.
I think we're going to have to do a New Zealand.
I don't think so. Because I would have said something.
Well, mine is the 16th. Yours is the 23rd. So no.
That's not the next Friday. It's not the last Friday.
The 30th is the last Friday.
Yeah. But I don't have it constantly, but I will sometimes have issues even talking. If it's really bad. Doesn't happen nearly as often as Mom's does.
Mom's never stops.
But because the Ehlers-Danlos, because I have known TMJ, my doctor just wants it checked out. I don't figure they'll be doing anything at this point, just because, I mean, it's not often enough to really act upon.
The only thing they might give you is a night guard. For me, mine is probably aggravated by my psoriatic arthritis, plus injuries that I had when I was a kid. So we just,
and for me, TMJ is a known, something that's known to come up with Ehlers-Danlos, just because everything else is loose.
Right. So that takes care of that kind of stuff. I think we're good to go. At least we weren't falling asleep this time.
Yeah. Yeah, well, I think it was a good decision not to do it on Monday. I think it was a good decision not to do it yesterday. I ended up getting really lightheaded toward the end of the day, so...
Well, hopefully Tuesday is our go-to day.
That's our go-to day. It was just a bad day for whatever reason. I think maybe my body was anticipating weather coming in. I don't know what it was, but it turned out that it ended up being a good day to not. I was in pain yesterday.
We're both very affected by the weather, so it's just, if we try to get it in Tuesday. We try to get it in the first part of the week, because if we do it past Wednesday, then there's no real sense in us doing it, because...
But we've had to learn to be flexible, just because...
and if we have to do one that late, you'll probably get like a little 20-minute thing saying, hey, we're here. But
we would probably do it on the computer versus the whole setup.
And it would be short just so you got one.
Yeah, exactly. Just because we've had to learn to be flexible based on the way our bodies are. We want to be consistent, but we also have to acknowledge that when there's issues, we'd rather you get like a shorter podcast that makes sense than maybe getting one where one or both of us is not doing well. So that means we had to be flexible. But I figured flexible is better than having a completely incoherent and dull podcast.
Yep. Yep, we like you guys too much. Love you too much for that. So
yeah, those are the only changes you might see. It's just that sometimes we might be more flexible than we have in the past, just to take into account the fact that we don't have the ability to do it just whenever we want to.
Yeah, I thought we were flexible when you were working night shift, but,
Yeah, we didn't know what flexible was. But we also had other things. Thankfully, we were able to at that point, because we also had the CCD and all that other kind of stuff we were doing.
Yeah, there was somebody who was telling us, you're doing too much, just slow down. So, okay. So
alrighty.
That's all we have to say about this. We hope you enjoyed the podcast. We hope to see you here again for the Fun in the Woman Cave next week. Oops.
It's a bunny.
I don't have any teeth. This is the Pen, Hook, and Needles podcast, episode 558. And that's a wrap.
Bye.
Bye. God bless.